Hi, it's Joseph Hertz. I wanted to take a couple minutes to talk to you about the importance of bringing effectiveness into every meeting, every sales presentation, and every interaction in professional services. And before I tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do, let me first tell you what I'm not. I'm not a career trainer, and I'm not a motivational speaker. My role is not to fire you up and tell you you can do it. Instead, my job is to prepare you and provide real-life effectiveness skills to partners, salespeople, and service delivery teams from the viewpoint of somebody who's been there and sold over $500 million of professional services deals. I've sat in front of over 70% of America's Fortune 1000 companies, and I've led thousands of senior-level presentations to some of the most demanding executives in the world. When I started as an outside sales executive in the early 90s, I didn't receive any training. I was assigned a territory, I was given a stack of business cards and some brochures about my firm, and I was told best of luck. But I was determined to be successful, and I was afraid to fail. So I started cold calling prospects. I set an aggressive goal for myself to schedule 15 meetings a week, 3 a day. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't hung up on, yelled at, cussed at, called names, and told no more times than I can remember. But for every no I received, every objection I failed to overcome, every mistake I made, it forced me to adjust my approach and develop a better methodology. And as a result, I was the top producer in the country my first year. And in my second year, I started to have salespeople reporting to me. And pretty soon, I was training salespeople, not just that reported to me, but all the salespeople in the state, the region, and the country, while never losing my focus on individual sales. And as I became a top producer for numerous organizations, outside companies started to ask me to help them train their salespeople. So for the last 15 years, I've used vacation days to help dozens of companies do exactly that. And now, over 20 years after I started, I've trained over 4,000 executives, almost all of whom in professional services. And at the urging of my clients, friends, and colleagues, I've recently left my role as a global head of sales to devote myself full-time to helping others be more successful. I know in professional services, work ethic, ambition, and technical expertise are vitally important attributes, but they can only take you so far. And one of the biggest observations I've made in the last few decades is that most people really don't prepare for meetings as much as they should. And they have very few have a defined methodology. To me, it's impossible to be successful without one. And in the team selling environment of professional services, it's more important than ever to have a unified selling approach and a common pursuit language across the organization. I'll help you and your organization increase your effectiveness, your number of new clients, and your top-line revenue with an approach customized to professional services. And rather than theoretical training with a lot of charts and graphs and models, my methodology focuses on the real-life effectiveness skills that you'll need to utilize every day in professional services. My focus is on exactly what happens when you walk in that door of a prospect. Skills like the ability to effectively introduce yourself, the ability to overcome objections, and the importance of understanding every stage of a meeting. How to ask for business the right way and at the right time. And the cardinal sin, as I call it, leaving a meeting without a specific defined next step. You know, when you leave a meeting without a quantitative next step, you put yourself in what I call relationship limbo, and you lower your chances of ever having a follow-up interaction by 50%. And for the record, let's do lunch next month, send me an email, I'll review the proposal and get back to you, give me a call next week, are not next steps. I'll show you a well-defined quantitative next step that has 5 key components, and I'll teach you those key components and make sure you and your team never leave a meeting without one. After working for some of the largest accounting, consulting, and professional services firms in the world, I've sat in front of some of the most demanding executives from some of the largest companies, and I understand what it's like being evaluated every second you're presenting. And I don't take lightly the fact that a first meeting in professional services is a free sample of what they're going to get if they work with you. That's why you have to be laser focused at every point of the meeting. And in order to do so, every person in that room must know the 7 steps of a meeting. They need to know where you are, where you've been, and what you need to cover in the rest of the meeting. Like I said, a first meeting is a sample of what it's like working with you and your firm, and every step must be laser focused. And that's where I come in. I've developed an extremely effective methodology that not only led me to being the top producer in the country, but I've spent the last 2 decades continually improving it. I've trained over 4,000 partners, sales, and client service professionals at firms of all sizes on the real life skills vital to success through the eyes of someone who's been there. I'll work with you and your team to develop a powerful and impactful personal introduction. Probably more important than any other industry, it's critical that clients and prospects like you, trust you, and respect you if they're going to work with you. You are the product, and a name, rank, and serial number introduction is a deal killer. You're not going to get buy-in, you're not going to get people leaning forward in their chair, and you're not going to get people wanting to work with you. And you won't be differentiated with a name, rank, and serial number introduction. Most importantly, it's a missed opportunity to connect with your audience. I'll show you the 7 components of a compelling, engaging, and effective introduction. And I'll help each member of your team create their own personal introduction and deliver it flawlessly so that you and your organization will be differentiated and get buy-in, trust, and likability right from the start of every interaction. I'll help you take control of a meeting right from the start by effectively setting the table, as I call it. This is a powerful tool in which you garner buy-in, credibility, and alignment right from the start of every interaction. I'll help you and your team learn and master every step of a meeting, from when you and your team walk in the receptionist area, to your personal introduction, to presenting your value proposition, to acquiring information the right way, to your trial close and your close. And I'll make sure you and your team never leave a meeting again without a quantitative next step. I'll also provide extremely effective secret weapons, as I call them, that will improve your closing percentage by up to 50%. I'll help you transform the way your clients view you and your team right from the start, and I'll help you better prepare for large pursuits and present your solution much more effectively. I'll also make sure everyone on your team can effectively ask for business the right way. Selling professional services is a unique skill, and I'll help you and your team master it. I know that in professional services you get a lot of objections, and I'm going to show you a powerful technique for overcoming every objection you'll ever hear in every setting without canned answers or scripts. To me, the definition of real power is to be able to welcome every objection and effortlessly overcome it, not as a salesperson, but as a trusted business advisor. I'll map out with you every step of the meeting and interactively help you perfect each one. I'll show you how to effectively orchestrate and take command of a meeting. I'll show you how to persuade people to work with you and master the art of effectively extracting information out of people. I'll show you how to understand how to ask for business and the vital importance of never leaving a meeting or any interaction without a quantitative next step. These are just a few of the methodologies that I found are vital to bringing effectiveness and success into every interaction. They're the difference between success and falling short of your goals. And I think with so many professional services firms out there, you have to differentiate yourself. And you must transition from a vendor or service provider to a trusted business advisor relationship. So whether you're a partner, a salesperson, or a service delivery professional, I'll help you understand and master every step of the sales process, from your initial interaction, to your preparation, to your first meeting, to your follow-up, to your negotiation, to your close. As somebody who spent his entire career selling professional services, I understand the unique complexities that our industry brings and the importance of bringing effectiveness to every step of the process. More than any other industry, when you're dealing with the human element, you have to master every step of the selling process. I want to thank you for your time and invite you to let me help you and your organization greatly improve the way you interact with each other, your existing clients, and your prospective clients. At the end of the day, I ask to be evaluated not on if I entertained you or put on a good show, but rather on your increased number of new clients, top-line revenue, and your firm's ability to bring effectiveness into every conversation. I look forward to great success together.